If you ever find yourself struggling to accomplish your daily tasks, feel unproductive, feel tired, can't figure out why you're not getting closer to your goals, chances are you don't know how to time block, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. What's up guys, Lewi here. Okay, what is time blocking? Let's start there, right? Time blocking basically, in a nutshell, is if you take the amount of time you have in a day, it's just chopping it all up. Like you're chopping a vegetable or something like that. You're just taking each section of your day, chopping it up and assigning things to those times. Sounds simple in theory, but a lot of people overthink this and don't actually know how to do it. The idea is to take a block of time and focus on one thing only, just one thing. And this is going to lead to higher productivity with less distractions. Okay, so you only really need one tool to do this, and it's your calendar. We've done videos on Google Calendar and stuff like that on the channel. You can check them out right here on how to set up calendar in the most proficient way, but that's all you really need. And it doesn't even have to be Google Calendar. It can be a calendar, like a planner for the day, whatever, just something that you can visually look at the hours in a day so we can start to now draw this out and map out how your day is going to go. So now you've got that written down. Now we're going to start to look at the tasks that you have to do for the day. Now you may already have appointments built into your calendar, which is great, but we need to work around them. What other tasks do you have to do for your business to get you moving forward in the right footsteps? Now, I did a video with Mike Sherrard all about the power list and how I dedicate my time to figuring out which tasks I have to do. So you can go and check that out, or you can go and look at the Eisenhower Matrix, which I'm going to bring out a video for here shortly. And that is a really amazing tool that shows you which tasks to do, which ones aren't important, and what you should be doing. So once you've figured out these tasks, now we need to start putting them into these blocks. So say you've got a block from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. free. Okay, well, what tasks do I have to do? And what can I block them into? So let's just say we do 3 hours. So we go 9, 10, and 11, and you've got 1 hour for them all. Now we've got 3 tasks that we can spend 1 full hour on of uninterrupted work. And this is the whole point of time blocking, is to focus on one thing. If you have your browser open with a million tabs, if you have your phone ringing or texting or whatever app bings it, if you have anything else distracting you, this is going to be truly hard to do, because a lot of people fail in this because they'll time block for, say, email follow-up. But then they'll go into their office and they'll sit there and people are coming in, talking to them. They're like, yeah. They're picking up the phone. If the phone rings, they'll answer it and call. So you're not spending that hour doing what you're supposed to be doing. Really, you're maybe doing, 40 to 50% of the focus, and you're just not going to get as much done. If you're focused completely on the task, you're going to smash it and get it done way more efficiently than you would have if you had been distracted. Now, one of the nice things I love about this process is that it kind of gives you a heads up on what you're spending your time on and what you prioritize in your business. So if you start time blocking on your calendar and you're putting in tasks that happen every single day, or that aren't going to bring a return, if it's just social media that you've never seen an ROI on an Instagram post or whatever, but you're spending so much time making this real, maybe that isn't a great use of your time. What I like to do, because I've blocked all this off and put it in my calendar and I know what things I'm working on, I can look back at tasks and see the ROI, the return on investment, and see which items actually brought income or brought business to me, and I can see which ones didn't. Then we can start to take these off our task list and start to move them aside or delegate them or just get rid of them completely. Time blocking is awesome, not just for the foresight of what you're going to do, but also looking back and seeing what you did do and what returns you got from them. So let's get into the tips here. How do you even do this? What's the best things to be doing? And there's 5 of them that I like to talk about. 5 tips that are effective for time blocking. Okay, number 1 is starting with a realistic schedule. Now, if you just go on and make it super rigid, like your whole calendar is just like filled up for the day, like from start to finish, and there's no room for breaks, there's no room for interruptions, no room for anything, then that's going to be a problem, because we can't operate like that. You can't just like on the hour be like, bing, next task, bing, next task. It's impossible, right? So we have to leave a bit of wiggle room inside of our calendar to give us space to either take a breather, take a break, or respond to the things that people were trying to reach out, or whatever that looks like. I like that because I can do like an hour of focus work, then have like a 10-minute break in my calendar. On the 10-minute break, that's when I'll look at my phone, take it off Do Not Disturb, check the notifications, be like, okay, do I need to respond to any of these immediately? No. Okay, back on Do Not Disturb. let's get to the next task. And that's what I really like to use that for. This allows you to do 1 hour of full interrupted work focused on what you're doing and not worry about people reaching out to you, because you're going to get back to them within an hour, so it's really not a big deal. If it was like 4 hours, you might be like, oh my gosh, I can't put my phone down for 4 hours, especially as a realtor. But 1 hour, it's not the biggest of deals. So I like to do that. Leave a little bit of space and make it a little more realistic for your schedule. Okay, the next one, number 2, we kind of talked about it, but prioritize your tasks. And again, the Eisenhower Matrix is my favorite tool to use this. It really helps you figure out what you should be doing, what brings the ROI, what you should be outsourcing, what you should do later. Phenomenal tool. So again, we're going to do an in-depth video on how I use that exact tool in the next coming weeks here. So look out for that. Okay, the next one is stay flexible. The thing about time management, time blocking, like all this stuff is it just can't be super rigid. You have to be fluid a little bit. You have to be able to move things here, there, and everywhere. For instance, if I am blocking out my time, do work on building out my website, and it's an important thing that I need, obviously, but if a client calls me and wants to go and see a couple homes in that same time block, then obviously I'm going to move the website stuff to later or tomorrow or later on in the week, right? You have to prioritize which things are really important and have to be done right now. So you have to be a little more flexible with your schedule to allow you to chop and change as needed. Okay, the next one is huge. You know me, minimizing distractions. So I've done so many videos about this because I'm a space cadet. I get shiny object syndrome. I click on things here and everywhere, and it's a big problem for me unless I'm really focused on doing this. So minimizing distractions, put your phone on do not disturb, make sure you don't have any other tabs open, your email's closed. If you're in an office, lock the door, like do whatever you need to do, noise cancelling headphones, and just get on with the work. That's a big thing, because you're going to have to move that block. If you can't focus and get your work done, you're going to have to double up that block and do more work on that same thing, where if you were focused with no distractions, you could have just hammered it out in half an hour. And the last one, guys, is take breaks. Take breaks, guys. Breaks are good. You need breaks. Your brain needs it. So I love to go out for a walk, like halfway through the day, leave my phone behind, leave everything behind. I'll maybe take one of the dogs out or whatever, but going outside, taking a walk, just getting some fresh air. And then when you come back in, you're refreshed, you're ready to go again. But this is super important for productivity. A lot of people think if you work from sun up to sundown, you get more done. That is scientifically proven to be wrong. So if you can focus on work, minimize all your distractions, keep in line with what you're doing, you'll hammer at work, then you take a break. It's okay, because the last 3 hours of work you did are the same as some people's 3 days, because they're so distracted. They have unrealistic expectations. They can't prioritize what they're doing. Their whole business structure is a mess, and a lot of people I talk to are like this before we help them to kind of get this all in line. But because of that, it might take them 3 to 5 to 10 times the amount of time I can get a task done in, because I know how to focus. And it's not a special ability I have or anything like that. It's just a dedicated skill set that I focus on. It's a discipline I've had to learn over time, just because I know how my brain works. So giving yourself breaks is the best thing ever. And that's the 5 big ones, guys, for this topic. Time blocking is just such a superpower that a lot of people don't really understand how to utilize, and how simple it is. This doesn't have to be complicated. You can just go ahead and go through those 5 points there. Start with a realistic schedule, prioritize your tasks, stay flexible, minimize distractions, and take breaks. And your time blocking will be sorted out. You just have to have the discipline to put it into practice. If you like this stuff, subscribe to the channel, guys. I also send out a weekly email every week, because it's a weekly email, about this stuff for realtors. So there's a link below. You can subscribe to that too, and we'll see you on the next one.